As an endocrinologist, I see this every week in my clinic. Many older adults think their legs feel weak because of age, but in reality, high blood sugar is quietly starving their muscles. When sugar stays in the bloodstream instead of entering muscle cells, your legs lose their main fuel source. Over time, the muscles in your thighs and calves shrink, even if you haven't changed your routine. That's why standing up from a chair feels harder. Stairs feel steeper, and walks get shorter. This isn't sudden. It happens slowly, morning after morning, until one day your legs no longer support the life you're used to living. I need to be very clear about something most people are never told. Diabetes is not just a blood sugar problem. It is a whole body condition that affects how your nerves, muscles, blood vessels, and even your balance work together every single day. When blood sugar stays high, it slowly damages the small nerves in your legs, making it harder for your brain to sense where your feet are. At the same time, circulation to the lower body weakens, so less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your muscles. This combination is dangerous. Your legs may not hurt, but they begin to lose strength, coordination, and stability without obvious warning. I often hear patients say, "Doctor, my numbers aren't that bad, so why do I feel unsteady?" The answer is that diabetes works quietly. It stiffens blood vessels, slows healing, and interferes with muscle repair while you sleep. Over months and years, this creates a chain reaction. Weaker muscles lead to shorter steps. Shorter steps reduce activity. Less activity causes faster muscle loss. Eventually, simple tasks like getting out of a car, stepping off a curb, or standing in the shower feel risky. This is how diabetes turns into a mobility problem. Not overnight, but through small changes most people don't connect until their independence starts slipping away. If you're over 60 and living with diabetes, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes. What I'm about to explain can help you understand why your legs feel different and what you can do to protect them starting today. This isn't about new medications or expensive programs. It's about simple, proven steps that support your muscles, your balance, and your independence. If this information feels relevant to you or someone you love, let me know by leaving a comment and keep watching, because the next part may change how you think about your legs and your health. I explain this in very simple terms to my patients. Your leg muscles need sugar to create energy, but they can only use it when insulin works properly. With diabetes, sugar stays trapped in the bloodstream instead of entering the muscle cells. When that happens, the large muscles in your thighs and calves are forced to break down their own tissue just to function. This process is quiet and painless. You don't feel it happening day to day, but week after week your legs lose strength, size, and endurance, even if your weight stays the same. Research published in U.S. diabetes journals shows that older adults with poorly controlled blood sugar lose muscle up to 50% faster than non-diabetics. Especially in the legs. I once treated a 72-year-old man who said his walks were getting shorter every month. His blood sugar wasn't extreme, but his muscles were starving. Once we corrected his morning nutrition and glucose swings, his leg strength slowly returned. Your legs don't move on muscle alone. They rely on constant communication between your brain and your feet. Diabetes damages this communication by injuring small nerves over time. That's why many people feel tingling, numbness, or burning in their feet at night. Even more dangerous, the brain starts receiving delayed or inaccurate signals about balance and position. Physiologically, this means your body reacts slower when you step, turn, or shift weight. Studies in the U.S. show that over half of adults with diabetes over age 60 have nerve damage, and many don't know it yet. This damage nearly doubles the risk of falls. I remember a retired teacher who told me she felt off balance, but had no pain. She fell stepping off a curb because her brain didn't sense her foot placement in time. Diabetes had quietly slowed her nerve response. Another system diabetes affects is blood flow. Over time, high blood sugar stiffens and narrows blood vessels, especially those feeding the lower body. When circulation drops, leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients. Even light activity can feel exhausting because the muscles are working with limited supply. Physiologically, this creates heavy legs, cold feet, and slow recovery after walking or standing. US. Cardiovascular data shows people with diabetes are 4 times more likely to develop poor leg circulation, often without obvious pain. I treated a 69-year-old woman who walked daily yet felt her legs growing heavier. Tests showed reduced blood flow below the knees. Once we addressed circulation support and timing of meals, she noticed her legs felt warmer and lighter within weeks. Many seniors with diabetes think eating less protects them. But timing matters more than quantity. After 7 to 9 hours of sleep, your body is low on fuel. If you skip breakfast or rely only on coffee, your body enters muscle-breaking mode to keep blood sugar stable. The first muscles sacrificed are in the legs, physiologically. This catabolic state steals protein from muscle tissue before the day even begins. Research in older Americans shows seniors who skip protein in the morning lose muscle strength significantly faster and experience more balance issues. I once met a widower who avoided breakfast to keep his sugar down. Within a year, he needed his arms to push himself out of chairs. Adding the right morning meal changed his strength trajectory. This is the hardest truth I share with patients. Diabetes rarely announces leg damage with sharp pain. Instead, it takes independence quietly. Muscles weaken, nerves slow, balance fades, and confidence disappears. Physiologically, once leg strength drops below a certain point, the body moves less, which accelerates decline even faster. US. Fall statistics show that one serious fall after age 65 often leads to permanent mobility loss within a year. I remember a patient who said, "Doctor, I didn't know my legs were failing until I couldn't trust them." That moment changes lives. The good news is this process can be slowed and even reversed when addressed early, but only if people understand that diabetes affects the entire system, not just a number on a meter. The most painful moments in my career are not when I deliver a diagnosis, but when I hear a patient say, "I wish someone had told me sooner." The truth is, most seniors with diabetes don't lose their independence because of one dramatic event. They lose it quietly. A little less strength each year, a little more fear when stepping off a curb, a hesitation before standing up. Until one day, a simple slip in the kitchen or bathroom changes everything. The data is heartbreaking. After a serious fall, many older adults never fully regain their ability to walk with confidence. And what makes this even harder is that many of these falls were preventable, not with extreme workouts or new drugs, but with earlier awareness of what diabetes was doing to the legs all along. I've sat across from men and women who managed their blood sugar faithfully, yet no one explained how their muscles and nerves were weakening in the background. They didn't fail their bodies. Their bodies were asking for help in a language no one taught them to recognize. Diabetes doesn't just threaten years of life. It threatens the ability to live those years on your own terms, the ability to walk to the mailbox, climb into a car, stand in the shower without fear. That loss hits deeper than any lab result, and once it happens, the regret is almost universal. Not because it was inevitable, but because it was misunderstood. I want you to hear this clearly. Weakness in your legs is not something you have to accept just because you have diabetes or because you're getting older. Your body is not broken. It is responding to signals it has been given for years, and those signals can be changed. When blood sugar is managed with the right timing, when muscles are fed instead of broken down, and when nerves are supported early, the body still knows how to repair itself. I have seen patients in their late 60s and 70s regain strength, confidence, and balance once they understood what their legs truly needed. Small, consistent choices matter more than dramatic ones. You don't need perfection. You need direction. By paying attention to how you eat, move, and recover each day, you give your legs the chance to support you again. Independence is not lost overnight, and it is not rebuilt overnight either. But with the right approach, you can slow decline, restore stability, and continue living life on your own terms. Before you move on with your day, I want you to pause and think about one small change you can make today. Tonight. Notice how steady you feel when you stand up. Tomorrow morning. Pay attention to what you eat first, not just what you avoid. Drink a full glass of water. Choose a real breakfast with protein, and take a short 5-minute walk, even if it's just around your living room. These simple steps tell your muscles and nerves that they are still needed. If this message speaks to you, share your age and how long you've lived with diabetes in the comments. I read them carefully. Because real health isn't about numbers alone. It's about staying strong enough to live safely, confidently, and independently. Starting with the choices you make today.